Order on August 6th, 6:32 p.m. This Ordinance Committee. On the committee, or as part of the committee, we have Councilor Bacon, Councilor Jenny Rivera present, and myself, Councilor Israel Rivera. Online, we have Councilor Patty Devine, and in person, we have Councilor Carmen Ocasio. Oh, we also have, as well as a committee member, Meg McGrath Smith. And possibly Councilor David Bartley. Sounds like somebody's walking through the door.
Somebody came in the door, but I can't see.
So we'll update. Yep, that is Councilor David Bartley as well.
Do you need that motion?
Yeah, I
Do you have it?
Oh.
I have it in here somewhere.
For the purposes of what you're taking, that one.
Yeah.
Probably up here. Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm. You got it?
I entertain a motion to take a roll call vote that for the purpose of this meeting would be applicable to all motions to receive, to refer items to committee, remove items from the table, place items on the table, package items together, comply with items, or suspend the rules unless there is an objection.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Entertain a motion to take up item 1 and open the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public hearing. This was filed June 17, 2025. This is for special permit application of Sixon MA LLC at 15 Main Street, a recreational marijuana retail establishment per section 7.10. I believe Ezra is here as a consultant or as usual. If you'd like to take it away for now, and then I'll entertain it, open it up to councilors for questions after that.
Great, thank you, Councilor Rivera. Yes, I'll be representing for Sixon MA LLC tonight. They are proposing to have a change of control from Euphorium, which was an active operating retail at 15 Main Street, and Euphorium is selling to Sixon MA. They're proposing to sell their business. So currently, in order for the state to approve this proposed sale, they need to go through the steps. One is amending the special permit because the permit does not change or does not stay with the building. If there's a change of ownership, according to the bylaw, a new special permit is applied for. So that's what Sixon MA is doing. And all of the operations are staying the same. However, currently, in order to operate it, they have a management contract until the CCC approves. And so Sixon MA is operating or managing the operation. So the business is open currently. This proposed change of ownership is occurring, and the special permit is to change the name to the new owner, essentially. So the only changes are the city engineer asked us, and let me share the screen so I can just show you the site. So this is 15 Main Street here. Main Street runs right here, and this is Ray Street. City Hall is right up this way. So the only changes to this entire site from the previous operations is a proposed granite curb right here. The city engineer suggested that since this driveway from Ray Street is not being used, that they should place a curb here, so that will be done. And the rest of the operations will be quite similar. As far as staffing, they have 99% of their staff right now is all Holyoke residents, which is great. They have added an additional 4 staff from when Euphorium, the other company, was operating it. So, they have more familiarity with the market, more stability in their staffing and their operations, and they're just seeking your approval to accept this proposed change of ownership, and happy to address any questions.
Thank you. Any questions from any other councilors that are on the committee? I seeing none. I'll open it up to any councilors that are not on the committee. And then I'll open it up to the public because it is a public hearing as well. There's currently no one on the chambers, and I don't currently see anyone online. Jeff, feel free to let me know if you see anyone that I don't see.
I see no hands.
Alrighty then. That being said,
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
all in favor?
Aye.
Let me do a roll call
Oh, I
vote,
guess.
just in
Yes,
case. Counselor Bacon?
Yes.
Counselor McGrath Smith?
Yes.
Counselor Bartley? And Counselor Jenny Rivera?
Yes.
And Counselor Ezra Rivera, yes. Thank you, Ezra.
Thank you very much, councilors. Appreciate it.
Entertain a motion to move on. Oh, we had to schedule it for another date, right? Because we closed the public hearing.
No, you can entertain a motion if you want on the app.
To just send it to full council for approval?
You can.
I mean, I guess I will. I'll entertain a motion for that the application is approved with all said conditions. What is it, 6 or 7?
Remaining, whatever
All
is
right.
on the record.
That are currently on the record.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, you better do a roll.
Roll call vote. Counselor Bacon,
Yes.
Counselor Bartley, Counselor McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Counselor Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
and then Counselor Israel Rivera. That all passes, and then it'll be sent to full council with all the recommended conditions that have been placed in the past.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Have a good night.
Motion to take up item 2 and 3.
2 and 3 is a package. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 2 was filed by Councilor Bartley. Holy Ordinance Chapter 14 be amended to protect the welfare of felines. The ordinance chapter can be provided by our admin assistant upon request, or you may email me and I'll send it along. The issue arose as a result of communication with Mass Department of Agricultural Resources, MDR, and as Director of the Division of Animal Health, who advised breeding of dogs and cats is an unregulated activity in Massachusetts. Per the director, there are regulations that in fact do pertain to canines. However, he states there are no such regulatory requirements for cats. Holyoke, unlike the state, can and should protect animal health and welfare of cats and ordain regulatory powers as needed. Refer to Ordinance, Animal Control Officer, Board of Health. And then 3 is a letter from Leah Maldonado. Let me see if I can find it here, so that I could read it to her. I'll read it out into the minutes. I believe it's this one. Hello, City Council members. I'm writing to ask if a cattery breeding in Holyoke that is selling sick cats, some of which have died, can be added to an upcoming agenda of the City Council. I have been in contact with 5 previous owners that confirmed 3 deaths and various infections, but do not want to get involved further. I've been in contact with 3 previous owners with confirmed death that agreed to send their medical records to the MDAR. That is a total of 7 confirmed deaths with 2 in the public records. I know you are incredibly busy and get a lot of emails, but I think you can help us stop the suffering caused by, I can't pronounce the name, Savimbi Bengals. The state has not been able to stop it. My hope is you can help. Please feel free to contact me. I believe that's all from her. Councilor Bartley, you filed it. If you would like to expand.
Yeah, so let me just,
Go ahead.
is Leah online with us?
I don't
Jeff?
see her, but.
Okay, I was hoping she would be. So let me just.
She is.
Okay.
Perfect.
Oh,
Thank
good.
you, Leah. Oh, there
Okay,
she is.
That's great. So I definitely want to hear from Leah, but I'm just going to slowly read this. I'm filing this motion to amend Chapter 14 which is to protect the welfare of felines. The ordinance chapter, the issue arose as a result of a communication I had with the Mass Department of Agricultural Resources, which is MDAR. And it's director of the Division of Animal Health, who advised, this is what he said to me: the breeding of dogs and cats is an unregulated activity in Massachusetts. That's a direct quote in an email he sent to me. Per the director, there are regulations that, in fact, do pertain to canines. However, he states there are no such regulatory requirements for cats. Holyoke, unlike the state, can and should protect animal health, and the welfare of cats and ordain regulatory powers as needed. So I don't know if we had the animal control officer of the Board of Health. Do we have anyone here, Jeff?
Yes, he's here.
Mr. Velez.
Oh, great. That's great news. Okay. So, so this started with an email from Ms. Maldonado that I believe two counselors responded to her, and I think I've been kind of the main person, but I'll let her speak to any of that ancillary stuff. But I'm so appreciative of Kevin forwarding this email because it really sets up the table. I'm not going to state the address where this started. I'm not going to state the name of the owners, but I will say that the property address that piqued my interest because of the address of where this cattery existed is in Ward 3. And I was so stunned to see that. And I guess that's what triggered my I've been pretty well involved with Leah, but again, I'll let her speak to how involved I've been. And following up, as we did last night, with the letter from MDAR to the residents of that property in Ward 3, I think is very indicative of what's happening. So we have here in Holyoke a couple that says that they're going to breed cats, and what Leah found out, because she purchased cats from them, is that they got sick and they died. And she's not the only one. And to me, that's pretty damning. But then I started looking into it, and there's really there's no regulations that we can look to. So that's what we're here for. We're here to hopefully amend Chapter 14. It's going to take a process. I don't want to belabor it tonight. But what I do want at the end of this is, after hearing from Leah for a few minutes and hopefully Eric for a few minutes, I do want to refer this to the law department to get some draft language started and on how best to amend Chapter 14 so that we can treat cats the same way we do canines. I mean, it's only fair. So without further ado, now that I set that up, I'd like to suspend the rules and allow Ms. Maldonado to speak to us about her perspective relative to this matter.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Ms. Maldonado, welcome. You certainly have to give your name and address, and then why don't you take a moment or two to tell us your take on this.
Yes, hi. My name's Leah Maldonado, and my address is 48 Mechanic Street, Shelburne, Massachusetts, 01370. And I'm very grateful and thankful that you've allowed me to speak, but that you've been willing to take this up. Before I emailed the city council, I didn't even know that an ordinance was possible, and it wasn't until Mr. Bartley suggested it, and then he did it, and then my whole perspective about the situation changed. When I first reached out, I really was just desperate to stop this one breeder that I had these negative experiences with. But then when I discovered that there's no regulations and there's no enforcement and there's really nothing that can be done, but you could change the ordinance, and then at least what's done for canines could be extended to cats. It just shifted my whole perspective to be not about stopping one breeder, but about improving the health of cats across the town of Holyoke, and possibly even building a model for other towns that might want to do the same thing. Because if I give my experience the most generous interpretation, what if I think of it like there's someone who loves. I adopted Bengal cats, so they're hybrid animals. They're not fully domestic and they're not fully wild. They're like a mix. And people who breed them tend to love these animals. And I can tell you that the cats that I got from the cattery in Holyoke were loved. They were just really sick. One of them was really sick. And when I say they, I guess I'm speaking about the collective that I've come to learn about. And so with the most generous interpretation, I think, if I'm a breeder and I fall in love with a cat and it's not illegal and I want to breed these cats, who do I go to help me figure out how to do it so that they're well? Like, where are the regulations for that? Can I go to the Board of Health and can they tell me like how to make it work? Because from what I've learned, unless you have a good breeder who already knows how to do it well to mentor you, there's not a whole lot of resources. And so when this ordinance idea came up, I started thinking, well, maybe it could start the framework to build those resources. And to me, that is so much more important than stopping one breeder, even though I had terrible experiences and my family suffered and it was awful. And, you know, a cat that I loved suffered for many months and then wasn't able, and then I decided to euthanize them because there really was no other option, no place to go. So I don't want to keep talking, but I just want to say thank you to everybody for be willing to even take this up. And thank you, Mr. Bartley, for being so willing to do stuff and make stuff happen. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Mr. Velez?
Hi, how are you? And I'd like to say hello, good evening to all of the council members in attendance, and of course to Ms. Leia Maldonado, who brought this forward. This is honestly something I can really stand behind. I really appreciate that she brought this forward. I really appreciate that Councilor Bartley brought this forward to you guys, because it's true. We have so many regulations for dogs and not enough for cats. And I think my experience is that there are none throughout the state. And as you all know, the MDOG does not regulate the breeding of dogs and rather of cats as they do dogs. So I really appreciate this this issue being brought up. Again, Ms. Maldonado, euthanizing your kittens was the most humane thing you did for them, and as heartbreaking as that is, you did the best thing for them, and of course bringing this up to the city's attention, which I believe would make Holyoke the first in the state to have any such regulations. Now, with respect to I'm certainly willing to entertain this with the law department and give them maybe some extra words, how to maybe, you know, I know cattery is not necessarily a typical word that we use and folks use throughout. And so I'm willing to of course work and help support this particular issue, maybe possibly extending to chapter 14, section 3, where it talks about commercial animal establishment permits and kennels and such. And now, one quick question, maybe you can answer this for me, council. Kennels are typically used or allowed in RA zones. So would this also need to go in front of like a zoning?
Yes.
If we're going to.
Yeah, Eric.
And
Eric, this is Dave.
I'm sorry.
Eric, this is Dave Bartley. The short answer is yes, if we go that far.
Okay, perfect. Also, this particular home that you and I spoke with, or about rather, would theoretically not in that area need a special permit, is what I imagine from you guys. So I fully support anything, and I'm willing to work with the law department again with as far as language and such that we can sort of get together and you know, make this better for, of course, the feline friends of our city.
Thank you. Councilor Reagan?
Thank you, Chairman. I think if we're going to refer it to legal, we have to be a little bit more specific than to ask them for language to change the
there's
ordinance.
a lot more, yeah.
So I think what we could do is request language to be added specific to the breeding of cats.
Right.
There is language in our current ordinance that requires people who have animals to provide adequate food. I've only looked at it quickly, so I haven't studied it in depth, and necessary veterinary care, regardless of how they got the animal, just the fact that they have the animal. So we can do something, but it doesn't get at the issue of breeding cats, which I think is the more commercial aspect that we're talking about here. So I think if we could request the law department to give us language that would be specific to setting up criteria for having some kind of process for setting up breeding of cats, that might get at what at least I've heard so far. But I'll defer to the maker of the order.
I just have a question to Eric just around specifically just like regulations and what it would look like and like how it would be managed moving forward. Since it's would be the first in the state, that means we'd be setting a precedent, and that means we'd be developing the system
Right.
in of itself. Yes, we can mimic some of the things that are already put in place around canines, which is totally cool. But we also have to like be careful in navigating how we don't like if somebody wants to come in and start a business and hold up that's legit, right? You don't want to prevent that from happening too at the same time. So it's trying to find a way to navigate that. And for me, it's trying to figure out, do you already have an idea of what that would look like, or would we need time to actually talk about that?
We would really need, I would certainly sit with the folks in the law department and we can talk about this. There's ways of supporting adoption programs. There's ways to reduce stray populations, allowing oversight and control from the city. If in case there's cruelty, we can refer to mass general law. It encourages collaborations with rescues and other veterinarians in the area. So I'm certainly willing to, put it out there and find out as much as we can to help this process along. That's for sure. And also, I feel like we also some of the cons that I kind of just I'm jotting down right now. The risk of overcrowding and unsanitary conditions. So that would allow us to still be able to, have some kind of control, have some kind of oversight, and maybe even have some kind of violations in place. As Ms. Maldonado stated, that there are no, unfortunately, anything stopping folks from breeding and sort of backyard breeding cats like we do dogs.
Councilor Bartley?
Thank you. So first of all, Ms. Maldonado, thank you. And I'm glad you're here and glad but sorry you had to go through all this. Second off, from my friend Eric, I couldn't be any happier but by what you said, and I really appreciate you getting behind us. Eric and I did not talk about this beforehand by any stretch, so I'm very, very grateful that he sees the potential value in this. So in my opinion, the motion that we're going to have to end up making is to certainly refer this to animal control, refer this to the Board of Health, refer it back to the law department. I, for one, am certainly not going to lean on the law department to get us all the answers. They will take. Hold on, Eric. Hold on. The law department is not going to take the lead on this by any stretch. It's going to be Eric Velez. It's going to be the Board of Health, and it's going to be working with finding out what the minimum requirements are for talking to maybe veterinarians, talking to the Leah Maldonados of the world, finding other potential reputable cat breeders that maybe Leah can point us to, and maybe talk to them, and maybe finding out what are the minimum requirements. Then what we'll do with Eric and the Leahs of the world and the vets that we talk to, then we'll get the information to the law department, and we'll tell them, this is what we want you to draw up in legal form. I'm not going to lean on them by any stretch to get directions on any of this. We're going to tell them what to do, and then they're going to come back to us with draft language, hopefully in 2 months. So, but to have the kind of enthusiasm in this room that I didn't think I would even get, but it's maybe not this board, but certainly from the professionals, I'm very, very grateful for that. One thing before I stop, I have to thank the Ward 5 counselor, because really, she really got me, when I first talked about this with her, she really got me focused on where exactly to sort of put this, and I'm very grateful for her input, as I usually am. So with that, my motion is going to be to refer this to put together, do some research with Eric Velez, with the Board of Health, and then what I'll do, Eric, and I'll keep Leah involved the whole time, and we'll get maybe Dr. J, one of our favorite veterinarians in Holyoke, maybe the doctor up at the wonderful vet up in Holyoke Animal Hospital. I'll collaborate with them, and we'll do some due diligence. Eric and I will meet maybe offline, and maybe we'll do some research. Eric, maybe meet in September, and then we'll keep Leah involved the whole time, and then we'll start to develop some ideas. Okay.
Of course. And again, I didn't mean to misspeak and say or maybe sound like I want to push this all on the law department. I certainly do not. We want it to be involved and want to make this a collaborative issue. Sort of everyone get involved as much as we can, as much information as we can, as much education as we can provide for the folks in our city, and put this together the right way.
All right, thanks, pal. So that's the motion.
So you second?
Need a second.
On the discussion, Councilor McGrath Smith, I saw your hand up.
Yes, thank you. My main questions, bye Scout, thank you. Two boys just came in. My thought was to ask around licensing versus special permit, because I heard it said earlier that we probably wouldn't be going the special permit route, but instead we'd be going the route of a straight up license. And I was wondering if we would likely pattern it after other systems that we already have in place in the city, and what the systems might be that we might be modeling it based on. And I also was thinking just about some of the basics that we would want to have included in there, like how many cats are someone allowed to have if they're intact? How many, is there a maximum number of litters that we're saying each intact cat could be expected to have per year? And also just the authority to be able to do spot inspections.
Councilor Bartley.
I greatly appreciate the Ward 7 counselor's words, and what I'll do is, if with her permission, I'll loop her in as much as she wants to be looped in, and try to get some minimum standards developed, okay?
I would also say to loop me in so that I know what's happening as the chair, so that way when it comes to council, I'm not just the day of finding out what's happening.
Definitely notice will be way in advance.
Okay.
One last thing, Councilor Bartley, I know you might be familiar with Chapter 14 in the commercial establishments permits and such, and maybe we can add to that. Right now, I think it goes to 9. Maybe we can add 10. Maybe we can add an 11. So that way we have something already established, and we could just add to that.
Thanks, pal.
Councilor Bacon.
Thank you. I would just note that I think this is a very timely discussion, because I'm a supporter of the Westfield Homeless Cat Shelter, and they are frequently having breeders dropping off cats that have problems in sites where they know the shelter will find them. So I think this might be a very good model if we can pull something, and I'm sure we can, together, and then maybe some of our other communities around us would like to look at it as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? So on the motion was to send to, no, not
Send to Eric.
Send to Eric to help develop legal language.
Just get the minimum requirements, and then we'll get to the law department at some point.
Good luck. So roll call vote. Councilor Meg McGrath Smith.
Yes.
Councilor Bacon.
Yes.
Councilor Bartley.
Yes.
Councilor Jenny Rivera.
Yes.
Councilor Israel Rivera. Yes.
Motion to take up item 4.
Second. Thanks, Eric. Thanks, Leah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Here's a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye. All right, okay. So item 4 was filed by Councilor Tessa Murphy Ramboletti. Order that Schedule B and C of Ordinance 230-35 be updated as appropriated with competitive salaries to attract and retain employees. Should we take that as a package of 5 or no? Doesn't matter. We'll just do 4 first. So yeah, Kelly, I believe you're here with us for this particular order. We've already met several times about this. I think we've been waiting just to get updated numbers, is my understanding. But feel free to take it away, Kelly, if anything.
Hi, yeah, thanks for having me. So like you've probably heard me a couple times. I don't recall being asked to get updated numbers. I just think it was just tabled.
Okay, my bad.
I think we have.
But if there's something you need, let me know. If you have notes that say something else, let me know.
No, if anything, if anything's updated or anything that you want to make anyone aware of, that probably would be it. Because then I'll just
No, I don't remember who was there last time, but if you want me to just briefly explain that I compared Chicopee, West Springfield, and Westfield. I threw in Springfield in there, but I know that we are not as big as them, but just, to give more information. I think that the counselors have been working hard, like I said last session, and you guys should get paid more for your time. Most of you are spending countless nights in council and researching and stuff like that, so I believe that should be increased. It hasn't been increased for quite some time. And then the city clerk, I believe, is all set. And then the mayor's salary should be increased as well. Compared to the surrounding cities, he's significantly underpaid, and not just him, but the position of mayor is low for Holyoke and our challenges. That's Schedule B. And then Schedule C is really, there's no changes to Schedule C except for the matron and the substitute nurse. We currently don't use a substitute nurse, but if we were to need one, we want to get one at what Schedule C had it as. So we're proposing to move it to what our current city nurse makes.
Awesome. Thank you. Any questions from the committee? Councilor Bacon?
I just have a comment.
Oh, excuse me.
So in general, because we just passed the budget and whatever increases the mayor wanted, he put in the budget, and we just took a vote relative to our clerk. At this time, I'm not supportive of changing these particular schedules of B and C. I'm a little unclear about the matron. I'm looking at $20 an hour. I don't see another number. So I thought that was the current number. Just as a clarification.
No, so the current number is 18, and I'm proposing 20.
Okay.
We are not retaining female matrons, and they're needed at the police station, so I believe $20 is more competitive. And in regards to the comment about Schedule B, I would think it would be in effect in January or maybe even in the next fiscal year. I just think we should be competitive with other cities, and people should get paid what they deserve to.
I take your point. Thank you.
Thank you. I was going to ask that question. When would it take effect? And to my understanding, at least with regards to like city council and the mayor or anyone that's elected, that would probably more than likely be in January, if that's correct, right? Just because it's elected cycle.
I would agree with January, but I would leave it up to the will of the body.
Well, so Councilor Bartley?
Thank you. Mr. Chair, Kelly, thank you. Welcome back. Just well, first off, anything to do with elected officials would take place after the current term. There was some talk when we were talking about the clerk that was going to be earlier on, and I think that was put to bed. So I think we established that any midterm raises for elected officials would generally not be welcome. Kelly, the substitute nurse for the BOH.
Yep.
What am I missing here? This is a $16.50 raise. What's going on with that?
So I don't know when the last time it was increased, and they actually don't use one now, but if there was ever a emergency where we needed one, it should be competitive, and that's what the current city nurse hourly rate is. So it made sense to me to increase it to that. I think I mean, I would have to look back through the records, but I don't think the nurse rate has been increased for maybe 2 decades. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Sorry.
But just so we know, we don't currently have one. We haven't had one in quite some time, but say there's another epidemic and we need, a substitute nurse for some reason, I just think we should be prepared. But it's not currently a position that we're funding or a need we have right now.
Okay, so that clarifies that, but you're trying to get ahead of it a little bit, and I appreciate that. So it just seems to me, I don't know why that hasn't been brought to us as an individual type of salary adjustment, kind of similar to what the police matron, why hasn't that been brought to us as over the course of these 20 years? I mean, how would we as city council know unless the department heads would bring this to our, or the mayor would bring this to our attention? We wouldn't, is the answer. So.
And that's why I was trying to clean up the schedule to see just. So
no, I appreciate that. And it's like the implication is almost that it's the city council, but it's not the city council. We just, we're the legislative, not the executive. The executive is the department that should be leading us and telling us what the deal is with these salaries. And the executive for decades has not done anything about the substitute nurse. And now what you're saying is we're going to increase it because based upon your estimation by $16.50 per hour, which is, I don't know what the percentage, but it's not quite double, but it's pretty close. And so that kind of jumped off the page at me. And that's something that hopefully a conversation like that, if it doesn't pass this time, the same way with the matron, that's a more modest hourly rate. And I certainly would want to hear from the chief of police on that. I don't recall once in my career having any chief of police come in and talk to us about the matron, not once. And so to make it almost appear as if the city council is the one, that's not how the game works. I don't remember one mayor in my career coming in talking about the matron, not one. So I'm glad that you're doing it. At least somebody's bringing it to my attention. Now I can't say I'm ignorant of it, but it takes a little more leadership than the HR department head to, in my opinion, to lead us to this. So those are my only questions and comments, Kelly, other than say again, thank you.
Councilor Bacon.
I just have one more question, and I just don't recall this, so I'm asking it just because I don't know. I've never seen, I don't know if we even have a budget line or a code for substitute nurse in the budget. I've never seen it, and so I don't know if it exists. And I'm just wondering if we've never had a substitute nurse in 2 decades, maybe we shouldn't have it as a line, and if the time comes that we need it, we can set it up and develop it. It just seems like it's an old thing that we haven't used. We didn't use it during COVID. If we didn't use it then, I don't know when we ever would. But that's not to say we never could, but we've been through some pretty extreme things. I'd rather just see, I think that deleted, and if the time comes we need to set it up, we could.
So you're suggesting that if an emergency happened in that moment, we should be creating the position again?
Well, what I'm suggesting is if we have a full-time position and that person is for some reason vacant, that the mayor has, I believe, or the department head has authority within the current structure to bring somebody into the position that's already budgeted.
Probably contract-wise.
To cover that. So I'm just suggesting that we perhaps do not need this in this particular schedule.
You may be correct, but I think the fear for me would be, and it is what it is, it's the will of the body, but like, you don't, if she's done her research, because I don't think this is a number that the HR director just made up out of nowhere.
She said that.
No, she didn't. She said she looked around other towns
No,
and she
for this
compared
one,
it
she didn't say
to other
It's
ones.
just what the nurse is making. So she didn't look anywhere.
So she's,
Made it up.
Mrs. Curran, you made up the number for nurses randomly?
No, I didn't make it up. Deb Scher, the current city nurse, that's her hourly rate.
Rate.
So,
So it's
That's what I-
documented somewhere else that it is already a currently hour rate.
It's her rate.
yeah.
Right. Okay. So there's a difference between making it up, that's like a random number, and actually taking it from somewhere, like pulling it.
There's no study. You're implying there's a study. There's no study. She just used the same number. That's all. There's no study involved with this.
But anyway, it's the will of the committee.
In a study, we take other numbers. It's the same concept, but whatever. It is what it is. Like, even if there was a study, like we'll be poking holes through the study right now, right? Like,
That's true.
Like we're saying, like this is the first time this has come forward when I've been on here for almost 4 years, and some of this has been trying to be passed for quite some time right now. The only thing is we've been needing the study or the numbers, but the studies get outdated all the time because it gets pushed down the road. But whatever, I guess. On the motion, what are we trying to do here? Are we gonna send it to full council without recommendation, with a recommendation?
Councilor
Councilor
Rivera,
McGrath.
sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, I was gonna say Meg, I could see Meg.
Yeah, I was
raise
gonna
her
say,
hand, so
Councilor McGrath Smith.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to say that it seems like in some of these documents, there are still things that are unresolved because we're not exactly sure what's going to happen with our current treasurer role this fall. So I wonder if we should just table for now until we have clarity on that. Because I think we may need to come back to this conversation once we know what those positions might look like come January.
I mean, that's cool, but come January, the rates will change again and people will be upset again. But that's cool. We can
Is
take.
that a motion?
Yeah, is that your motion?
That would be my motion, yes, to table, so until we figure out what we are doing with the treasurer and finance roles.
I'll second that.
Could I make a
Under
comment?
discussion, motion to suspend the
Well,
rules
I'll
to
withdraw
allow.
my second because you can't debate tabling. I'll withdraw the second. So
All right, thank you.
Keep talking.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Sorry, I just wanted to say, so for Schedule C, it has nothing to do with the financial structure. And I mean, it's not detrimental or anything, but I just feel like continuing to table things, like Izzy said, it'll be there forever. Anyways, Schedule B, the treasurer will not be on Schedule B because it's no longer an elected position. So regardless of what it becomes, you could, and I'm definitely not telling you guys what to do, but you could make a decision on, the current Schedule B because the treasurer, excuse me, will not be in Schedule B. So I also think that, although I understand what you mean because there's a lot of uncertainty, that I don't think those decisions affect Schedule B or B.
That's true. So I'll withdraw my motion, if I'm allowed, Chair, and instead put in a motion for us to move B to council with recommendation, and C, sorry, I'm on my computer, so I'm toggling between different screens. C is the elected official schedule, yes?
No,
No.
B is.
Sorry, B is elected. So then I think that we should, it sounds to me like maybe there's an appetite to move the schedule for elected officials without recommendation and to move the other one potentially with recommendation.
So your motion is to move Schedule B without recommendation to full council, and then move Schedule C. And then what recommendation you want to do? Approve or disapprove?
To approve C and to not recommend B. There are only two small changes in C. One is a position that I understand there could be some appetite to potentially
Just for
remove
clarification, when you're saying
substitute
not
nurse,
recommend B, you mean send B to council just with no recommendation, just like blank.
It sounds like there's no
Like-
appetite for it.
Counselor Bacon.
Well, I have a motion on B, but I'm a little confused where we're at right now.
Well, she
Are we
withdrew
talking
her
about
table.
both together?
Yeah, both together because they're actually in the same order.
So she withdrew her motion to table, and I'm hearing a motion to approve C.
To move
As presented,
full council as presented,
as
approved,
presented.
and then B, full council
So-
with no recommendation.
So I would like to vote on C,
So
and then,
you want to separate them?
yes.
That's fine.
You can, even though they're both the same order?
Yeah, it's a little tricky.
They're two separate schedules, though. How is the order written?
Just while the chair's looking at that, can I just raise?
Counselor Bartley, go
Just
ahead.
through the chair to the Ward 7 counselor, the Schedule B, you realize the city clerk is there, and we just adjusted that salary effective 88, and now it's proposed for 90. So do you want to leave that the way it is at 90, or do you want to omit that?
All right, again, my apologies. I hate having to toggle back and forth on a
No
screen here between items. Let me pull that up. A, B, just like 8 different documents related to this in the email. Okay, it was amended, sorry, my apologies. Looking for clerk. So it was amended, so right now it says, because it's an older document, it hasn't been updated, so it's 85 for current, but proposed is 90.
And we amended it to 88.
At a recent council.
Then we would need to, effectively.
This should already kind of be changed, to be honest.
Yeah, but also this is just, we're moving it without recommendation, which means that nothing would change.
Well,
We've already made that change
not
to 88.
necessarily. If it goes to full council and people vote to approve it, then it'll be approved as is.
Yes, although, at least my motion was that we move B to council without our recommendation.
But yes,
I'm happy to shift it editorially and say,
Yeah,
shift
that-
the salary to
88,000. Yeah.
88,000, but move it to council without recommendation.
Okay.
Shift the proposed to 88,000?
Yes.
Okay, all right, well, that makes sense to me.
To match
Can I
current,
be recognized?
Yes.
Current salary.
Hold on a
Having a
second.
dialogue here.
No, I'm trying to figure out what she's got going on, and you're gonna get recognized.
I raised my hand, I wasn't just dialoguing.
So, Councilor Bacon, real quick before I entertain the motion.
So I haven't heard a second on the motion relative to B. So I would
Well, I
like,
mean, we didn't get to because you wanted to be entertained.
right, because I'd like to make a motion relative to B.
All right. Go ahead.
So my motion on B is that we deny changes to B, that we leave the pay as they are.
Do I hear a second?
Well, I'll second for purpose of discussion, but I want to hear the other, I want to hear
Right.
Meg's going to make another motion, I think, for the clerk, so.
And then, Meg, your motion?
would be to amend the 85 to the current 88 that has been approved by council.
And send it to full council with no recommendation?
Well, I won't,
Would,
She's making,
wait, yeah, go ahead.
bad.
Your motion. Meg, go ahead.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So do I hear a second?
well, I'll second for purpose of discussion.
Okay.
That's all, just under discussion.
Councilor Bartley?
Well, just to the Ward 7 counselor, right now it says 85 for current, and it says proposed 90. So I thought your motion might have been to amend the proposal from 90 to 88. In other words, because that's what it's going to be. I mean, we already have it. We already have it at 88 in an ordinance, except for January. But if we pass it this way, this vote would override that and make 88 to 90. So, but if that's not what your motion is, that's okay. So, but that's
My
what I thought
motion is whatever needs to occur for it to be the 88, which we've already
Proposed
approved.
88.
Then it'll be proposed 88.
Yes, proposed 88. Jeff, your hand is raised.
Yeah, may I make a suggestion if it's in order?
Sure.
So these figures are all going to have to be put into a legal form, so you could just leave off the city clerk from being even amended since it was already done.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Oh, so, okay, may I ask a question, Jeff?
Councilor Bartley?
So just through the chair to Jeff. Jeff, thank you for that. And then, so is the motion to put all these in, so take, once it'll say, put the mayor, the clerk, the council and the council president, the motion would be to put them in legal form and just not say the city clerk. Would that be the motion, Jeff?
Yeah,
Okay, all right, that helps me. All right, thank you.
So, back to the motion. The motion that you had made, do we want to amend it and correct it so that it kind of matches what Jeff just said, or I don't know. I'm not trying to put any words in anyone's mouth or anything, for the lack of better terms.
Well, it's up to, you know, what, I'm just,
Councilman McGrath,
Councilman
yeah,
McGrath,
Councilman
yeah,
McGrath Smith is-
yeah, it's your motion. That's why I'm asking, like.
okay.
Asking me, I thought
Yeah,
this was
yeah, yeah,
Linda
because-
Bacon who had started this last round of motions. My motions that I made originally, you then entertained Linda, and then she made a different motion.
Well, she made a different motion.
Mine never had a second, so
and
mine
then-
was actually never
right.
in play.
And then she made a motion, and then you made another motion on top of her motion.
Right.
After the fact, which is the one we're at now,
Right.
kind of. But actually it got seconded by Councilor Bartley.
Right.
For discussion. So right now, your current motion is that the proposed salary be 80 as city clerk, but understanding what Jeff said is that you can literally just eliminate that line and just ask for it to come in legal language. For the other ones, to full council without approval from committee, if that
I would
makes sense.
accept that amendment to the motion if it makes sense.
All right.
So it sounds like her motion is to put legal form in for the mayor, the council president, and the council. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but is that your motion, Meg,
For Schedule B.
for Schedule B?
That is fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
And
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'm just trying to move this
and
forward.
Schedule C.
I just, like, we're in a circle.
Right. And Schedule C was to leave it the same and send with approval from us.
Oh, we're going to vote on Schedule
Yes.
C too at the same time?
No, so let's do them separate. Then let's just stay on B for now, and then we'll go to C, because right now that's too much.
Yeah,
So on B, the motion is to send to legal, just to get legal language for mayor, council, and council president, and then send to full council without a recommendation from the committee. It was seconded under discussion, I guess, Councilor Bacon.
Yes, so I'm opposed to sending this without a recommendation. I think we should make a recommendation. Whether it's consensus or not, I just think we should vote on it. We've had it tabled like 5 times, so it seems like we should make a decision. But that's, I have my motion made, and there's a motion on the table, and the committee will rule. So we're on Councilor McGrath Smith's motion right now.
Yep.
So without recommendation, putting legal language, mayor, council, council president for next full council.
There you go.
Roll call vote. Councilor Bacon,
No.
Councilor Bartley,
No.
Councilor Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Councilor Michael McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Councilor Israel Rivera, yes. 3-2. It passes for legal language for mayor, council, council president, and gets sent to full council to be voted on. And then
Schedule C, let's do it.
Schedule C, entertain a motion to, what are we gonna do with it? Because I know earlier you had entertained a motion, Councilor Meg, but I see Councilor Bacon's hand raised. Is it raised or no?
Council with approval.
So we have the motion on the table, and under discussion, I just do not see the merits to increasing a pay amount for a position we have not used in over 20 years. And if we did not need this position during the COVID, I don't know when we ever would. And there's discretion within the budget if the nurse was somehow unavailable that the director and the mayor could use, because there's money in the line for the nurse. So it wouldn't constrain the department at all. This just, to me, seems like it's an old, unused thing that's just sitting on the list. It's never been used in the memory of people on the council. I just think it's an old thing hanging around. And I'd make a motion that we just take that off. It's not eliminating any ability to do anything that's needed. It's just an extraneous thing sitting there.
Well, I'll second that for purpose of discussion, but I don't know if we can do that.
We can't?
I said I don't know.
Councilor Bartley,
I don't know. I just second it for purpose of discussion.
yeah. Counselor Bartley,
What?
your hand was raised.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Wow, boy, I'm slipping. You know what? Okay, oh, that's right. Emergency, just to the chair, I could have sworn we raised that.
We did.
So that's already good to go. So the 5,000 is already good to go. for
I'm not
emergency
sure. I would ask.
I'm almost sure we did that.
I know we raised it, but I think we raised it. I'm not sure if we
I
raised
thought
it
we
to
did the
2,000.
I thought we did the 5,000.
I think that's what made it eligible for pension.
I think we may have said, well, I think we, because it's Jeff Trask.
Kelly,
I think
see
we
you
did the
unmuted.
5,000.
Yeah, was that emergency management? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Yes.
Yes, correct.
That was already increased. And
To
can I
5,000.
just say about the substitute nurse, I don't think anyone feels strongly about it, Counselor Bacon. So if, you all feel like it should be removed, I talked to our Board of Health Director, and he mentioned that they haven't used it in quite some time, but that if, they did need it, it should be up to what the current city nurse makes. But if we get someone through consultant services or something like that, I don't see it being an issue. So I just want you all to know that I don't think there's a strong appetite for keeping it on.
Through the chair, if I may.
Yeah, just do
Wait,
it.
Through the chair, if I
Jenny
may, to
Rivera.
Kelly. She was just responding to.
Go ahead.
So thank you, because I just want to be really clear. I'm not trying to do anything to hurt the operations at all. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Jenny Rivera.
Well, I feel we should move forward and vote on it because, like Kelly said, the money's not being used. But I feel we shouldn't wait. I mean, COVID just happened out of the blue. So what if we get something that is worse? We're gonna sit here and wait for this to be an approval, and then when all those, at that time of COVID, these nurses were all burnt out. Nurses, doctors, and everything. So I feel if the money's not even being used, leave it as a line item. If something does happen worse than COVID, it's there, and we could just move on it. I mean, it's not hurting us right now.
All right, because we already. Because we already have the position. Can we suspend the rules, or do I have
I'll
to
withdraw my
ask city solicitor? But just to
withdraw
see,
my
just in
motion.
court, in case though, how I'm not sure if we can do that unless it's the position. If the position is by ordinance, when we have to remove it by ordinance.
I've never seen the position. I've
Yeah.
never seen a line in the budget,
I'll
but
make a
I'm going to
motion.
withdraw my motion anyway.
Okay,
I'll
sure.
make a motion.
Councilor Bartley.
To me, it seems like the only one on here, Mr. Chair, is the police matron. So I'm gonna make, my motion is to take the recommendation on Schedule C for the police matron to amend that from $18 an hour to $20 an hour and to put that into legal form. That's
Second.
my motion.
Second.
The discussion. Anyone else?
On discussion, I hope that's the right number. I hope that's a number that works because that police department and that particular job is vital.
I agree.
It's imperative. And I don't know if you've ever been in that jail, but it's.
I have.
Wow. I mean, if you've ever taken a tour of that, I mean, it is rough. So anything to sort of smooth that out, and a matron, it would just, that job is an angel. So if that's the number that works, then let's put it in legal form.
Thank you.
Bartley,
Kelly?
I'm sorry, you said 20, right, from 18 to 20?
Well, that's what it says on.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what's here
I just
already.
wanted to make sure because I didn't hear it. And I did want to share that in the health budget, there is a line for substitute nurse.
There is.
It's not funded, but it is a line. So
Okay.
I wanted to share that 'cause I
Cool.
wasn't sure.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Kelly.
Awesome. Thank you. So
I withdrew my motion.
and he made a motion that was seconded, and it was under discussion, and that was to approve.
Matron is legal form.
Yep, police monitoring and get legal form to send to full council to get voted on. Councilor Meg McGrath Smith has her hand up.
Thank you. So if I'm understanding, Bartley's order would effectively, respond to the matron piece. We've already responded earlier to the emergency management piece, and would leave the substitute nurse line at the same pay instead of increasing it. And I would just indicate that is a way potentially of meaning that it can't be filled if it's needed, which is why we heard from the HR director that we should increase it to the current salary hour of the city nurse. I do think that it does make sense to do that. And again, it's not money that we're trying to spend. It's just, it's the bucket of water that you have by the campfire. I mean, you hope you never have to use it. That's the goal of a substitute nurse. So I'm totally fine increasing it to a rate where we could actually hire someone in the case of an emergency where we have to move fast and we do have to hire someone. I think we should be ready to do so.
She just said.
Thank you.
Councilor Bacon?
Thank you. I'm trying not to repeat myself and I'm trying not to insult people, but we have a budget line that has the money in it like every other professional position in the city. This is the only carve-out that we have on a stipend schedule. Every other position, if somebody's missing, we bring somebody in temporary or whatever. That's all I'm suggesting, that this is old and dated. I am a nurse. I'm certainly not trying to hurt nursing or pay a nurse less. I'm simply saying, I think we have it handled in our current budget, but I've withdrawn my motion and I will defer to the will of the committee. That's the only point I'm making on this. But if people want to keep these odd hybrid things that are outdated and old, it's fine with me. Go for it.
Councilor Bartley?
If I may, Mr. Chair, I think what the Ward 7 counselor said was right, but what she failed to mention is that the HR director just said the Board of Health doesn't care. They're not worried about it. So why are we worried about it? I mean, it's nice to put it on there, but you just heard the HR director say the Board of Health director is not worried about this. So you can make all the speeches you want about how we want to fill the position and all that, but the Board of Health director says he doesn't care. So I mean, if you're going to tell the story, tell the whole story. So
Well, it was brought up. It was brought
I-
up, so we need to not be disrespectful to anybody. It was brought up, and that's why we're discussing it.
That is.
So just let's not be
No,
disrespectful to
nobody-
Let's go.
anybody.
Just don't be disrespectful. Don't talk to me.
There is
Well, I just did.
snarky. There's
I just
snarky,
did.
indirect tone.
I am
bro.
Jenny.
Yeah, so relax.
Who are you?
Whatever.
Come on, Jenny.
Order, folks.
Yeah, come on, Jenny.
Yeah, order.
I don't have
There's
a
always
gavel.
order when it's you guys.
Yeah. So it was a little snarky tone, but it is what it is. We're already at this point. Meg, is that an amendment that you wanted to add to the order that was made to add the shift to 3696 also for the substitute nurse to the order that was just made, or?
I
Just
think that
making a
Councilor
point.
Bartley's a motion was an amendment to mine.
Oh, it was. So
It's been seconded.
And so I would just vote against the amendment when it is time to vote.
oh, okay. That makes sense. All right then.
So the order.
So that means that if it doesn't pass, then it would go back to yours. Is what you're saying. All right.
Yeah.
Councilor Bacon, you were saying something?
I was just wondering if we were going to vote on the matron.
We're going to vote on the matron, and if it passes, then it's all set. And if it doesn't pass, then we go back to Councilor Meg McGrath-Smith's
Right,
order, which
right.
was to accept it all.
If I may.
Yes,
And then another
you may.
motion could be made relative to something else if somebody wants.
Anybody can make a motion. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so the motion is to only to send legal language to do for police matron from $18 to $20 an hour, send it to full council with approval, and get legal language. Roll call vote. Councilor Bacon,
Yes.
Councilor Bartley,
Yes.
Councilor McGrath-Smith,
No.
Councilor Jenny Rivera.
No.
Councilor Israel Rivera, no. We're back to the original motion, which was to accept the whole document, send it forward to full council for legal language, and the only edits technically would be the police matron from $18 to $20 an hour, and then substitute nurse from $23.57 an hour to $39.96 an hour. Yes. So roll call vote. Councilor Bacon,
Yes.
Councilor Bartley,
No.
Councilor McGrath-Smith,
Yes.
Councilor Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Councilor Israel Rivera, yes. So they'll both go to full council, and then they'll have language at full council, and then we can deal with them as they would be dealt with at full council. So it's only 4. Let's go. Entertain a motion to take up item 5. Or item 5. All in favor? Ayes. Okay. 5 by Councilor Murphy Bowman Berletti. Order that the city examine and study the schedule. We did 5. No, that's A. Schedule A increases that were recommended by the salary study completed in 2014 so that we can implement salary adjustments that are competitive and more aligned with neighboring municipalities in order to attract and retain city employees. Kelly, this is another one that we've been kind of meeting on several times. If there's anything new or any other updates, please feel free to update us, because it kind of sounds like, I believe you've done in the past, but just maybe a refresher, if anything.
Sure. So there's nothing new. The data's the same, and it isn't from 2014. I think that was when the original study was done. I would have to look back to see when I got these numbers from Chicopee, West Springfield, and Westfield. But just so for the record, it's not from 2014. These are more up to date. Meg mentioned earlier, there are some things in the air with the financial departments, which I think would be affected here, and those are the asterisk positions. So
would you prefer for it to be tabled?
I'm happy to answer any questions, or, I know Councilor Bartley made a recommendation earlier on just the matron. So like I don't know if we separate the ones that are in the air, or I'll leave it to the will of the body, but happy to answer any questions you have regarding what I've provided.
Thank you. Any questions from the body? Councilor Reagan?
I just have a comment, and I would need to get it confirmed with Jeffrey because I don't have time to go through all my emails right now. But we updated this salary scale, I believe it was in 2021. So I don't. The initial establishment of the grades was in 2014, but there has been an upgrade relative to the scale.
She mentioned that there was an update.
If I may, in 2021, right before I got here, I think it was updated, but even with the numbers I put, it's still not too competitive with, private businesses and other things. So I'm not saying everyone should get a raise, but I think the ranges should be increased so that we are competitive with neighboring communities. If there's a vacancy, we're able to hire someone at a competitive range instead of, I won't say the position, but there's been a position that, we've filled several times and since I've been here, which is only 3 years. And it's because I believe the salary, we're not getting somebody qualified for that position. It's probably a couple positions. And so if we were able to pay people with experience, I don't think we would be turning over as many.
That makes sense in my mind. Councilor McGrath-Smith?
You calling me?
Yeah, I saw your hand raised, and I saw your hand raised.
My internet was unstable there for a second. Thank you. My question to the HR director was if you could just give us a quick, brief, and brilliant overview of the positions that you're proposing to be changed, and also, given that there has been some lack of progress or movement towards establishing the different finance department, then what would it look like for us to move forward if we didn't end up having, for example, a CAFO, but did end up having a combined treasurer collector? Would we have to, could we even do that, in your opinion, or would we have to keep both roles? Would we need to have a combined role but increase the salary because they would have effectively a good chunk of the role of what we had assigned to the CAFO originally in our discussions? Just wondering how that impacts, if there's a plan B, right? How would that impact the scheduling?
I think so there was a lot in that question, Meg, but I think I would defer, no, it's okay. I think I would defer to Attorney Bissonnette in terms, or maybe one of the other counselors have a recommendation, but I'm just asking to increase the ranges for these certain positions. So I don't know if ones that are in question we hold, if we do a separate order. I'm not sure what the best route would be. I just would hate to like hold it on like say 3 or 4 finance positions and then we lose people in other areas and have a hard time filling and, you know, come individually to say, for example, the DPW directors on this down a couple items, you know, instead of doing the individual one-offs, if we have the ranges in an area we have flexibility, then we can just, to me, it's easier and there's no barriers to getting qualified candidate. Because to that point, we have had little to no qualified DPW candidates apply, and I believe it's because of the salary. And there, you know, most people in that profession are aware of the challenges and the hard work that it'll take. So, and that's not diminishing the ones that are below the DPW director. It's the same in all those categories. We just have to be competitive.
Councilor Vega.
So the one comment that I have at the moment is I do not believe we can set salary ranges for positions that we have not approved through the city council within the city. So for any positions that are proposed but not approved, I don't believe we can set a range.
I understand that. I think to Meg's point, that's why I was asking for Attorney Bissonet's opinion on how we differentiate. I mean, I don't know if we table it again, which I would hate to do, but I know there's a lot up in the air in terms, excuse me, I keep getting a tickle, of the finance department.
Oh, thank you. I wasn't clear which question you were asking him, which part of the question. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear us, Councilor Attorney Bissonette?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, yes, I can.
All right, go ahead.
And if I'm right, Councilor McGrath-Smith, you wanted to know about, since the reorganization of the finance department, the creation of a CAFO and some other realignment issues, we're all sort of in, I'll call it legislative purgatory for the moment, but you have a budget based on the existing structure. Come January, the change endorsed by the voters will take place, which will eliminate an elected treasurer and create an appointed treasurer. So you'll have to go through that process to appoint a treasurer. At the same time, while you're considering that, there is a mechanism to combine the collector and treasurer and focus on reorganizing those two departments. So that would be the subject of some other type of legislative action, but certainly something needs to be done probably before the Thanksgiving holiday.
Thank you. Councilor Patty Devine?
Thank you very much. I just wanted to mention that if you would like to take up item number 8 along with this, I certainly have no problem with that whatsoever, just suspend the rules, so it's up to you. But Kelly's already talking about that, and what she's saying is certainly, I certainly agree with it. So I just wanted to mention that if you want to take up my item 8, that's fine with me.
Thank you. You guys want to entertain a motion to package them? No? Okay. So we'll take it up when we get there then. Don't worry about it. Thank you, Patty. So at the moment, Meg, your hand is raised. It's never gone down, so I want to make sure that it's you.
Yeah, I was just wondering, it's similar to what we did on the last order, if it would make sense to, my motion would be that we have a legal form created for this only for the positions that currently exist and can be updated, which I believe if I'm understanding correctly, is only the DPW director and the head admin clerk, or is that also affected, Kelly?
So there are probably maybe 20 positions not affected on Schedule A. I know you're not in a place that you have secure internet, so it's probably hard for you to see the attachment, but I can forward it to you if you can't see it. But there's other positions besides the DPW director, like the positions in my office, the positions in the solicitor's office, the assistant city clerk, admin assistant to the mayor's aide, assistant director library, assistant procurement officer, assistant treasurer, assessor, grant manager, things like that.
I guess for me, I don't want to say table, but it kind of sounds on my end, like at least until we get a list of what we can, right? Like yeah. I understand what Councilor Meg McGrath-Smith is trying to do at the moment, but like there's no actual list for her to like kind of list it out and say we're gonna move these forward and just forget the others. So due to that, I would say just like I put this same order on the next agenda, and for the next one, just come with the list of the ones that you would want to get done now that are not nuanced with the stuff that's going on with the finance department stuff. But that would be just my suggestion for now. Councilor Reagan, your hand.
Thank you. We also need a salary range established for treasurer. I understand the thought was we might be doing the combined treasurer collector, and we might still do that. But right now, the only thing that has been approved to do is to appoint the treasurer. And right now, we have no salary for the treasurer. So we do need something. I mean, we might not end up doing that. We might end up doing the treasurer collector, depending on the council, but right now, we do need to have a range for the treasurer.
So would that be?
It would be, I believe it would be a Schedule A. Would the treasurer be on Schedule A? And if it was treasurer collector, it would be on Schedule A also, right?
Correct, yep. And I'm happy to do that, but I think someone would have to file an order, right?
Yes.
Or unless I add it to the proposal.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's in Schedule A, you could just add it.
It's been voted to be appointed by the voters.
Yeah, no, I think what she thinks is that we have to file an order to create the ordinance for the salary.
Oh, a separate order?
For the grade, but I don't necessarily.
Because it's currently not as on Schedule A, so when it has to go to
I guess we should have done that a long time ago then. Yeah.
All right, so then I guess you could send it to me or whoever you want to send the order to, and just have us create the order for the next.
Well, we can write it. I mean,
for the next.
She just needs an order to add treasurer to the Schedule A salary scale, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming, yeah.
So with that conversation, because that's actually kind of a separate conversation that's intertwined with this one, I would say for the time being, then, if nobody else has any other motions or anything, I would probably, and I hate to do this, but motion to table it for now until we have an identified list of what we would like to move forward to the full council. That again is not involved with the nuances around what we're doing with our financial departments or what we're trying to figure out due to the vote that happened around the treasurer position. Unless anybody else has a different motion they'd like to throw forward. Do I hear a second on tabling for now?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Roll call vote just in case. Councilor Reagan?
Yes.
Councilor Bartley?
Yes.
Councilor Jenny Rivera?
Yes.
Councilor McGrath-Smith, I don't see you, but in case you're there. Gone. Okay. Councilor Israel Rivera, yes.
She had to leave.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So that was 5, and it's tabled. Entertain a motion to take up item 6. All in favor?
Aye.
That the department heads be given the authority to hire a Schedule A position above mid-range up to no more than 6 without needing further approval from City Council due to special circumstances. This was filed by Councilor McGee back October 4th, 2022.
I'd like to make a motion to give that leave to withdraw. It's old and stale, and he hasn't been on the council for 2 years.
That is correct. Department Head Director Curran.
I think you do have another order that's identical on the agenda.
Yeah, there's two that are similar, item 10 and this current item. Even though it's old, I still think it's relevant. When we can't, with the current salary range that's very low, and we can't hire above mid, and then we have to go to council and then committee and back to council, we lose that candidate because they're gonna take another offer that doesn't take 2 months to get them a salary. So,
I just thought 10 was the same as 8.
no, I mean, they are the
I thought
same,
they were
but
identical in terms of what they accomplish. That's all.
They kind of are, actually, so we can take them up as a package, if anything.
Okay.
I'll
I'll make a motion to suspend rules and take up item
8.
6 and item 10 together.
Second.
All in favor, and then item 10, just to read it to the people. Order that an ordinance, this was filed by myself April 1st, order that an ordinance to be adopted authorizing newly hired employees to be paid above the mid-range without approval of the city council. Again, reasons why I filed it were very similar that were cited to by the department head, Kern, around having the issue of offering a position to someone, but having the nuances of going back and forth with full council if they're going to offer someone above the mid-grade position. I believe that the people in their positions have a certain expertise, and then if they have the flexibility to be able to offer the position, and again, they don't. It's not like this is done all the time, but when there's a candidate that's a good candidate, you want to kind of snatch them up when you can, particularly in the climate that we're in for hiring. So when I asked for me to file the order, it kind of made sense. So I agreed to file the order and push it forward. So although I understand Councilor McGee's was old and possibly stale, that I don't disagree with it. Mine's was filed in this past April, so wondering if we can entertain a motion to move this to full council, depending on approval of the committee. Under discussion, Councilor Bacon.
Thank you. So, just so we're clear on why this was established in the first place, there was a history of people being fairly regularly hired in at the top of the range. And then they were topped out on the salary range, and then that argument was then used to give them another raise. Subsequent to the passage of this ordinance, there have been significant and expensive time off ordinances added to the benefit package of many of the employees that we are discussing. So when we consider the pay cost and the non-pay benefit costs of these positions, I would make the argument that they are competitive. So the reason for the mid-range limit was to have the ability to understand if there is a situation like we all know we've run into with the DPW director, which we had addressed well over a year ago. That person was hired with the money that we were told was needed, and I don't think the money was the reason the person left, but I'm not privy to all the reasons why the person left. So we have on occasion had those issues. I'm not aware that they have been pervasive other than in DPW, where the worker level people have been, for the last 2 to 4 years, impossible to recruit because their pay levels are low. So I think we're actually doing better at the higher paid level of people than we are at the lower paid level of people in the city. And I am not in favor of waiving the mid-range. I believe we're getting close to making sure our salary scales are competitive. And when we achieve that, it makes the mid-range thing, in my view, even more reasonable and more important to have in terms of a fiscal accountability factor. I do understand the other argument, and if I was on the other side of the fence, I'd probably be making the same argument, but this is just the other perspective on the matter. So I appreciate everybody's position on it, and I understand both sides of the argument. I can actually make both sides of the argument. So, but on this right now, particularly with all the things we have in flux that are the subject of heated debate, I'm not warm to changing this at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. And then again, I'll say for myself, because I filed the order, I've seen people leave because of not being able to get above the mid salary. We lost, I think, wasn't it the criminal analyst that was with us for this particular reason? It is difficult to recruit when you, and like, even for like the Parks and Recs director position that we just filled, it's great that we filled it. That was a homegrown body. We were able to do that, but there was no guarantee that we'd be able to fill it that fast either if it wasn't a homegrown body, right? That's one of the issues we have with hiring this new DPW director. And to my understanding, I don't think he left. I think he might have been let go. But again, it's like we're battling with neighboring communities that are smaller than ours that are paying DPW directors either the same or possibly more, and they do less work than the person out here would be doing for the most part. So I think, although, yes, you are jamming yourself up if you get hired above the mid-range and then come back to us and try to ask for more money. Eventually, if somebody's been here 20 years, eventually, hopefully, their idea within that mid-range, they would grow and we would be able to give them more money. But to your point, if it's only been 3 years and you're already about to max out, good luck. I'm sorry. You came in mid-range, and that would be the idea, right? And the ones that have the power to bring it past that would be us anyways. So there still is somewhat of a check and balance with regards to that. And there's a point being made that like we're bringing everything up to scale now, and that is facts. We are working on that, and we're doing that now. Grateful to Kelly, grateful to all of us as a council and all the people that are working now. But by the time we're done with that, it's probably going to be that we have to bring it up again because it's just taking so long, or we've taken so long to bring certain things up to a certain par. So again, this is one of the reasons why the main reasons why I'll be voting in favor of it. But it's not to say that like I'm not saying that what you're saying doesn't have valid points, because you do have valid points on what you're saying, Councilor Reagan, just to be clear. Kelly, your hand is raised again.
Yeah, I just, Councilor Reagan, I appreciate your point, and I just wanted to state about the time. When we did give additional time, we made sure that we changed the language because I think this is an important piece in terms of the money part. We changed the language, so if someone left, which traditionally they would wait till January to leave and get paid out all their vacation time, whether they're resigning or retiring, and we changed that to be prorated. So basically it's an amount depending on the day and the month that you leave in the year, so that you're not leaving with, thousands of extra dollars or whatever. And we thought it was a good compromise. I know when I first started, people would joke like, oh, meetings on a Monday and Friday. And I'm like, yeah, why not? And the idea was like, people didn't work on Mondays and Fridays. This is hard work, and, you know, the staff need breaks because of the work that we're doing. We're undoing about 30 years of systems that haven't been improved, and so, I do think the vacation is competitive with other, I don't think we're higher than other cities, and definitely not private companies, but I did want to note that, while we increased the vacation time, we did take back paying people out when they left, or even some contracts we took out. If you don't take a vacation, you could get paid a week. Like, we took that out in exchange for more vacation time. So I just wanted to note that, because I do know that, you know, it seems like a lot of money, but it's, in the grand scheme of things, it's not. Mental health, and I'm sure you guys equally know that in your positions, but there was another point I wanted to make too about something I forgot.
No worries. Thank you. So anyone else on the motion, which was to send the full council with approval from the committee? It was seconded. That was on the discussion. Roll call vote. If you vote yes, you want to send it with approval from the committee? No. If you vote no, then there is no approval for committee. But my understanding is that it'll still be sent to full council. It just won't be with an approval. Correct?
It's a separate motion.
What do you mean? If it passes,
If it doesn't pass, you need a separate motion to send it without a recommendation.
So the motion I made, just to be clear,
Is to pass it.
no. The motion I made was to send to full council with approval.
Right, to
So,
pass it.
right, and so if it doesn't approve, then it won't be a approval, it'll still be sent to full council.
You then just need to make a motion that
All
to
right.
send it without a recommendation.
All right, then, perfect. So,
That's all.
roll call vote, Councilor Bacon,
No.
Councilor Bartley, Councilor Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Councilor Israel Rivera, yes, it doesn't pass. I'll make a motion to send it to full council without recommendation.
Second?
Seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Roll call vote, Councilor Bacon,
Yes.
Councilor Bartley,
No.
Councilor Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Councilor Israel Rivera, yes. 3-1, sent to full council with no recommendation from the committee. Those are 8 and 10, I believe.
6 and 10.
Or 6 and 10, my bad. Entertain a motion to take up item 7.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 7 was also filed by Councilor McGee. Order that the residency requirement for the CPO purchasing director be removed. This one, I received a communication from Jamie Morrow, I believe. I could read it just so that everyone has a heads up. It says, good evening, Ordinance Committee. First off, thank you for taking up this important issue for consideration. I'm sorry I had prior commitment and cannot attend tonight's meeting, but I would like to highlight some thoughts and consideration. Resident requirement for department head when it comes to resident requirements and when they are established absolutely makes sense. 30 years ago in local government, it was imperative that department heads live in the community. It made sense. It was assumed that people who lived and worked in their community were committed. They know the issues and are advocating for residents. I would also like to put into perspective the advancements in technology from 30 years ago to today. With everything being readily available at the click of a mouse now, it has changed all industries. Furthermore, recently the citizens of Holyoke had the opportunity to decide whether the city treasurer should be elected or appointed, and it was overwhelmingly decided that they should be appointed based on qualifications, not elected. This was a monumental moment in the history of this great city where we are putting forth qualified candidates to do the job, not popular candidates. While we hope the city employee wants to live and work in their city, that is not always the case. Antiquated residency requirements actually hold back progress of local government. Local qualified candidates are not always applying for these jobs. The U.S. Census Bureau has stated a relatively small percentage of people live and work in the same city or community. Data from the U.S. Census Bureau and other sources indicate that people live in different locations than where they work, with rates varying by region and community. Lifting residency requirements for important leadership roles here in the city will allow us to get more qualified candidates. It will let us consider qualified candidates based on their experiences, education, and qualifications, and not their address. I urge to consider lifting residency requirements for this position. I've been serving as interim chief procurement officer for close to 3 years. I was afforded the opportunity to get my MCPPO from this community and would like to continue serving the citizens as chief procurement officers. Should you lift this requirement, I truly appreciate your consideration if this important matter and will be happy to address any questions or concerns you may have. Kelly, do you have any comments before I open it up to the committee?
Yeah, I think Jamie did some great research, and what she shared out is 100% accurate. I do think it's another barrier. While I think, it's a plus to have a Holyoke resident as an employee, I don't think that it should be a requirement. I think they should be looked at when they're interviewed if they're equal to someone as, a leg up, a couple more points or something. But I don't think it should be a requirement. I think we saw when we were looking for a city engineer, I know my position at one point, it was required and that was changed, although I do live in Holyoke, but there's been directors before me that didn't. I think across the board, we were lucky, like you said, to get a parks director that lives in Holyoke. But I do believe it is a barrier, and it shouldn't be a requirement. It should just be a plus if somebody is from Holyoke or moves to Holyoke.
Thank you. Anybody on the committee? Everyone's quiet. I guess I would say on my end, I would prefer people to live in Holyoke 110%. I know Jamie, and she does great work. It's hard for me. I'm a believer that if you really like what she said and what she cited in the beginning, I still believe that to be true today. I understand that it was created 30 years ago, but if you live in the community, you're a lot more passionate than if you don't. And it's not that you don't have compassion or you can't be passionate and you can't feel for the community. It's just different. When you take your kid to the park and you see what's going on in the park on a regular basis, it's a little bit different for you to want to take an initiative and try to make a change for it. But it's not to say that I wouldn't agree with like bringing someone else in to do some of the work, and especially if they understand the community and they're dedicated to the community and they're working in the community as Jamie has been over the last 3 years. But I'm just the chair, so I don't want to be the only one talking. Councilor Bacon.
I'll talk.
Thank you.
So you won't be alone. I'm torn on this issue.
Mm-hmm.
My preference, I'm more aligned with you in terms of we want people from our community to be the leaders in our community. And the recent hire in our Parks and Recs was because it was a person in our community that then was promoted within the community. And that's how, in my view, you build your community. So I'm a big fan of the residency matter. Our folks on our fire department get hired because they live in our community with preference. And so it seems like all the preferences go to get the jobs on the one hand, and then they don't stay in the city. And then the other jobs, we're getting rid of it as one of the standards for the job. So I tend to lean, and I mean, I guess probably I could be defined as a person of tradition, and I do agree that this one is a good tradition. However, if we're in a bind, I mean, we had our director of DPW who was interim for 20 years because he didn't live in the city. And it looks like that's kind of the way where we're going with the director of procurement. And maybe when we're in a situation and we couldn't find a person, or we found a person that we think is good, but it doesn't meet the regs, and so to work around the reg, we say it's interim. Maybe that's what we do, so that we don't have to throw out the whole concept and make every single job people that have no skin in the game in the city. I just think I've seen that happening since I've been serving on the council, and I don't think it's a good thing. I think it has had a negative effect, but that's me. I'm seeing the money go up, the benefits go up, and the people go out. And to me, that's the wrong direction, but, so I'm with you on this one. Whatever the will of the committee. I'm ready to vote.
Kelly, I see your hand raised again.
Yeah, thank you. So I get it, both of you, Councilor Rivera and Councilor Bacon. I am a proud Holyoker, just like I know both of you are, and I would want everyone to live in Holyoke, work in Holyoke, have their kids here, go to the community schools, 100%. But when there's only so many engineers, there's only so many procurement professionals that could live here. The current housing state, there's just so many variables. And when we post a position and we put residency requirement, qualified people are not gonna apply because they see that as a barrier. And I agree with, yes, let's pick the Holyoker over a non-Holyoker if they have equal credentials. But I don't want to pick a Holyoker that might not be qualified just because they live in Holyoke when, Councilor Rivera, you mentioned Jamie does a great job. She does do an amazing job, but it's more about the position than the person in the position. Jamie acts like a Holyoker. She donates to community organizations and a whole bunch of other things. So I understand what you both are saying, and I agree to a certain extent, but that's not the times that we're in right now, and it's just a barrier. And I've seen it with the city engineer and with other positions. And like Councilor Bacon, you said the DPW director for 20 years, that he was dedicated to Holyoke. It was hard work. He wouldn't have stayed for 20 years if he wasn't. And some people don't care about titles, the interim, but other people are not going to apply because they think the requirement is a barrier.
Is there a way to keep the requirement but also make special accommodations in particular situations or circumstances?
Well, that's what Jamie is. Jamie is interim, but she became interim because she was in a different position in the city. But if we had posted it as, with the residency requirement, people are not going to apply. But like I said, if we post it, we don't have the residency requirement and a Holyoker applies, let's choose Holyoker.
Councilor Reagan?
Now, this might be a bad idea, but it's an idea. What if we keep the residency requirement, but if a position is advertised, say, for X number of weeks and no qualified, because none of us are suggesting that a non-qualified person should be hired simply because they are a Holyoke resident. Nobody is saying that. So I want to be clear about that. But if we post it because we do have the residency requirement and say after X weeks, right, we have not had any qualified applicants apply, then the residency requirement could be waived for that hiring round, rather than just throwing out the concept.
Right.
That to me would be a compromise.
I would agree to that. Is that possible?
And I think it's possible. It's up to you guys. It's the ordinance, but so the position's going to remain vacant for all that time, and we're going to either not get the work done or it's going to be put on somebody else. But I mean, you guys are the ones making the decision.
Can I follow up?
Councilor Bacon.
So if we were going to pursue this idea, what would be, in your mind, a reasonable time to see if qualified people would apply when you normally post a job? Would you expect to get qualified applicants within 2 weeks, 3 weeks? What's your standard?
It would be 2 weeks, especially if the position's already vacant. I think we're moving towards a culture where we get a longer notice now, but sometimes people are like, I'm leaving in 2 weeks and that's it. So we don't have much time to fill positions.
Yeah, so once you post it within 2 weeks, you would say you get your qualified candidates filing in, applying?
Yeah. So yeah, I would also wonder, what if we said just like sometimes we put bilingual preferred on postings, what if we said Holyoke resident preferred instead of required?
I'll defer to the chair on that.
I mean, I think that it would help a little bit. I think the part where I'm at, and it is, eventually, I guess, I'll vote yes or whatnot, right? Because we're trying to hire people and recruit and grow as a community. But if we're also trying to grow as a community, we have to grow our community to the point that we can have the faith that we can hire within the community. Like, because right now it sounds like we don't have faith within our own community to hire within our community. And I'm not saying you per se, Kelly, or anyone else in city departments, but to be honest, in my little bit of time here, we've done this for a lot of different positions. Yeah. It's not just.
That's why it shouldn't be required for any of them, because like the engineer, the DPW director went vacant for a while. The engineer was vacant for a long time. There's only so many specialized positions, people that in positions in Holyoke. And then if somebody is very interested and wants to move, the housing market is terrible right now. If Jamie's committing 5 more years, she's going to be interim for 5 years. If she stays until she retires, she has a home in Southampton that she loves. Like, that's, where she's made her home. So she's going to stay for 25 years as interim. Like, I don't think it makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she doesn't, that's what, yeah, I don't know. But,
I know you want someone to invest in Holyoke, but if there's not a house in her price range, if she doesn't have a down payment, and this goes for anyone, I'm not speaking about her specifically, I'm just saying this could be, I bought my house 21 years ago. I'm not gonna buy another house to move to a different community and pay 5 times as much as I paid for my house, and the interest rates are crazy now. There's just so many variables, and to have this be a barrier, yes, we all want Holyoke to be better. We have to make it better before we could expect people to invest in housing and building houses or whatever. And this is just another barrier, I believe, to recruiting and retaining.
What is the motion?
There is none yet. No.
Attorney
Bissonnette, I see your hand raised.
Not one attorney lives in Holyoke.
Good evening. Just a thought is that while this addresses the CPO, you certainly could grant a waiver under this order to the current interim director. And then it sounds like you want to have a more wide-scale discussion might be appropriate on this whole question of how do you deal with residency requirements in this age where it's a no-win situation. Holyoke's fighting against a community half its size. It's offering $145 for a DPW director. So, engineers are smart people. They're gonna go with the money. And we have a number of really major issues at DPW that the next director is gonna have to deal with. So it's gonna be tough, but that may be appropriate for another night and another discussion. But as to this, if you want to make sure you keep Jamie, you may be able to offer her a waiver under this order. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll defer to you.
I'll make a motion that we accept Attorney Bissonnette's, because this committee's not moving. I'll make a motion we accept Attorney Bissonnette's recommendation relative to the waiver.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I mean, we could be here for another 3 hours.
Roll call vote. Roll call vote. Counselor Bacon.
Yes,
Counselor Bartley.
on the waiver.
Counselor Jenny.
Yes.
Counselor Israel Rivera. Yes.
Hey, all right.
So, okay.
Motion to take up number 8, please.
Real quick though, Counselor Bartley. I'm not even trying to be disrespectful, but the little indirect shots is being too much. Like, let's just cut it out a little bit, bro.
Okay, bro.
Okay.
All right. Like, and even
Hey, bro.
I guess you talk with bro lingo too now, right? All of a sudden, you're gonna wear a hat backwards too.
Motion to take up item 8.
Come on, man. I'm not even being disrespectful. I'm just asking you nicely, bro. Like, it's crazy. Entertain a motion to take up item 8.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's 2 ayes. I need 4. I already need 3 at least. I guess I'll say the third aye. Aye. Item 8 was filed by Councilor Devine. Order that the mayor be authorized to exceed the medium range hiring salary for the purpose of hiring a new director of public works. This authorization shall expire upon said hiring and shall apply to no other positions. So this was similar to the other one, but we wanted to take it up on its own. So,
If I may.
Councilor Bacon.
So item 8 is the exact order I filed before we hired the last DPW director. But on this agenda, we also have item 9, which is in order to change the range. So if the salary is gonna be what it is now, that tops out at 140, then I would say yes. If we're gonna have a salary that pays, I don't know, whatever it is,
So can we get a motion to take up item 9 with it as a package so we could talk about both at the same time?
I'll make a motion to suspend rules to take up 8 and 9 together.
Second, all in favor? Aye. So 9 was ordered by Murphy Romoletti, order that the Director of Public Works be moved from grade 14 to grade 15 of Schedule A. As reasons, the current grade 14 is 85,921.
Are those numbers accurate? I thought it was higher.
Kelly, is these numbers
I thought we
accurate,
hired
just to be sure?
Carl at a higher rate than that.
No, those are accurate. So the top
Okay.
of the scale currently is 118,862. Yeah, that's what the former DPW director was making when he left.
Okay, thank you.
And to grade 15 is 94,000 to 112, 130. That grade is clearly more appropriate given the fact that city engineer assistant director is currently earning 125 and is getting paid more than director can be paid right now. Kelly, you want to expand more on this?
Can I ask one more question?
Or wait, go ahead, Councilor Bacon.
Who else what other positions are in grade 15 at this point? I'm just not having that sheet in front of me.
Yeah, no problem. I'll transfer it now.
Are they, what I'm aiming at is, are they like in terms of education, experience, and level of responsibility? Because that's what our HR attorney based the grades on, was the level of the job, the educational requirements, and experiential. And now we're just changing grades because of the money. So I just want to make sure the positions are comparable.
Yeah. So currently grade 15, 16, and 17 are empty. They don't have anybody in. So the last one, the superintendent of public works, which is now the DPW director, is the highest grade, grade 14. And the grade before them is 13, the auditor, solicitor, and director of planning and economic development.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, awesome. Anybody else have anything to add? So I entertain a motion to accept the order that the Director of Public Works be moved from grade 14 to grade 15 on Schedule A, as the reasons that were submitted within the order. Seconded, under discussion. No hands raised. Anybody's not saying anything.
Wait, I'm sorry, Councilor Rivera, may I say something?
Yep.
To Councilor Bacon's point about the previous order, the mid, I just want to say that, so the mid, moving it to this grade, the mid would be 112,627, and I don't believe we would get a candidate to take 112,627. So I don't know if it's possible to do like you did with the previous DPW director, like going above the mid for this one hire and revisiting it at another time if needed.
Because we
don't have anybody, we don't have a candidate right now, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think anyone will come for 112. Right now, the max is 118, and we have little to no candidates apply.
And through the chair, if I can just
Yes.
make sure I remember correctly, we hired the last DPW director at 118? Was that their
I would
salary?
have to, I think it was a little under 118 when he
Okay,
separated from employment, it was 118, but I think it was like maybe 115 or 16.
when he was hired though, yeah.
When he was hired, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, go ahead.
On this one, I really almost think we need to amend that salary, just because we've been recruiting for, I don't know, 3 years now. You know, and the market's the market. It is what it is,
Yeah.
to use an overused phrase.
Yeah.
So, for this position, I think we need to move that range.
The range to the current range that's being presented, right?
Right,
Because right now that was the motion and it's seconded and we're on a discussion. So right now you're just pretty much saying that you'd be in agreement
yeah.
with the vote for now because of it is what it is in current times. So if there's nothing else to add, then I'll move forward with the motion and the vote. Roll call vote, Counselor Bacon,
Yes,
Counselor Bartley,
No.
Counselor Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Counselor Israel Rivera, yes. So entertain a motion to take up, I think we did 10 already.
we didn't do 8. We did 9.
Oh,
We just
yeah, okay,
voted
'cause we
on
did them in a package, right. All right, so then,
Counselor Rivera, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
Item 13, 14, 15, and that's it. I recommended leave to withdraws. I don't know if you want to take them out of order and as a package or,
you're saying 13,
What?
14, 15, right?
yeah.
Okay, I'll do those after we finish the 8 real quick.
Okay.
So Divine, that was that the mayor be authorized to exceed the medium range hiring salary for the purpose of hiring a new director of public works. So motion to entertain the order, which is that the mayor be authorized to exceed the medium range hiring salary for the purpose of hiring a new director of public works. This authorization shall expire upon said hiring and shall apply to no other positions. Do I hear a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. On the discussion? Roll call vote. Counselor Bacon?
Yes,
Counselor Bartley?
What's the motion?
The motion is that that the mayor be authorized to exceed the medium range hiring salary for the purpose of hiring a new director of public works. This authorization shall expire upon said hiring and shall apply to no other positions.
So the motion is to amend the ordinance and to put that in legal form? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Because we don't have legal form in front of us, so we have no draft in front of us, but you're saying this is it. So my vote is no.
So then you can say no. That's fine.
so
Everyone else said yes.
we would have to send it.
No back talking, Mr. Chair.
It's 3. I can do whatever I want, brother.
Is that right?
I'm
Okay,
the
bro.
chair, bro.
Okay, bro.
I'm the chair, champ.
All right, bro.
All right, champ.
So whoever made the motion, I guess, just needs to amend it to get legal form. That is a
The
valid
wop.
point. If we don't have legal form, we won't be able to vote it in council.
My assumption would be that it would come to us with legal form. I mean, we could clearly ask for it every single time, even though the expectation would be that it would come in that. But like, since we want that, then I guess we can ask for it specifically every single time to make sure that the city solicitor's office knows how to do their job in a
So
sense.
it had the rewrite in the rules about it. So
Oh, there you go.
that's all.
All right.
So, yes.
Let's go,
A
sport. Come on.
motion to
Pick
take
it up.
up item, motion to go out of order, take up items 13, 14, and 15, and give them leave to withdraw. I
Second.
would note under item 15 that the chief was able to hire a crime analyst within the range.
That is correct.
So,
A retired officer, that is
Yes,
correct.
that's
Yep,
great.
That's perfect.
have we taken them up? Yeah?
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna take my time real quick. I'm in no rush.
Trace, we have to read them.
Yep. That was number 10 you said?
13, 14, and 15.
Correct. 13, ordered that the city solicitor be given the authority to hire a paralegal above mid-range up to no more than max without needing further approval from city council due to special circumstances. Item 14, filed by Councilor Givner, with community support, order that the city of Holyoke establish in the Schedule A homeless and housing liaison position. Item 15, filed by Councilor Murphy Ramboletti, order that the police department be allowed to hire a crime analyst past grade 10 mid-range, which is 70,407 and to 78,000. Really appreciate the chief for that work and getting that done. So I entertain a motion to give those 3 orders leave to withdraw.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's roll call vote. Councilor Bacon,
Yes.
Councilor Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Councilor Israel Rivera, and Councilor yes, and Councilor Bartley has left the room.
Motion to take up item 11.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 11 was filed by Councilor Murphy Ramboletti. Order that the City Council update its ordinances in Chapter 86, Traffic and Vehicles, to include language that clarifies rules and restrictions related to the city's street sweeping schedule. This was tabled June 16th, 2025. My understanding was because we needed to get legal language, the famous legal language. What's that? 11, right?
Mr. Chair, I don't believe we have it, actually.
Oh, then motion to table.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. Motion to take up item 11.
That was
No,
11.
12, sorry.
So 12. Second. Do I hear? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 12 was filed by Councilor Ocasio. Ordered that a handicap sign be installed at 3 Vernon Street for Angel Lopez. Entertain a motion to send it to the Disabilities Commission,
Oh, we haven't heard from them yet?
or do we have it already?
I don't know. Usually,
I can provide a quick clarification, Mr. Chair. So it was sent to them. They had me check back in, or they had me refer to Councilor Ocasio to check with the applicant. There was one item on the application they needed to fill out that was blank, and she was able to get an answer from them as far as the need for the spot, and they filled out the rest of the application, and that answer was given to the Disabilities Commission, so they're good.
so are they recommending approval?
Yes.
Okay. For the
I'll
recommend.
make a motion to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call vote. Councilor Bacon,
Yes.
Councilor Bartley,
Yes.
Councilor Israel Rivera, yes. Councilor Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
and then the final motion, I believe, or no?
Motion to adjourn.
We're here second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Everyone's gone.